What's the deal, ladies and gentlemen? We're back with the weekly Xbox Beastfire podcast. I don't know where the hell is all day at. Somewhere it's being all gay, as Dee just said. Hold on. Am I using my mic? Yes, I am using my mic. So anyway, Mass Effect Andromeda is out, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Getting very, very shitty reviews. I seen one site, or is that overall? Was it a 6, or that was just one site that gave it a 6?
Probably one site. I don't think it's a 6 over. It's probably hovering maybe 7.5, I would guess.
Well, even that's still kind of low for a very, very critically acclaimed. I don't say critically acclaimed, but it's a great game. I like the story. I didn't really care for the first one. Second one I love. Third one I love. And so far I'm liking was considered the fourth one, whatever the hell it is. But what are you guys' thoughts? I think my man Crap, the Crap Gamer said it's getting a lot of hate because it was on Xbox.
It's at a 75 right now on Metacritic.
Mm-hmm.
A 3.8 user score. Holy shit!
I personally, I've played like 7 hours of it, and I don't really have an issue with it. It's actually, the story is kind of still evolving for me, but I'm liking it. I don't have any reason to hate it.
Have you played any of the others?
I have all the others. I've just never beaten them all.
Oh, okay.
Oh man.
Okay.
We didn't open the show right, next Shane. I've got to confess. Okay.
Get him.
All right. Now, first off, I want to say welcome to the fucking podcast. We want to be here, right? So we're glad you guys joined us. We definitely don't want to kill ourselves like we currently sound like we do. And yes, Mass Effect Andromeda reviews, they are kind of hit or miss, right? If you follow me on Twitter, I actually linked a Machinima review, which is the one that I found most appealing to me because a lot of the complaints these guys were getting at were kind of meager, and most of the technical issues were happening on the PC side. If you look at the PC reviews as opposed to the console reviews, a little bit more technical stuff happening on the PC side in regards to kind of the consistency of the glitches and things like that. But all platforms seem to be pretty decently optimized considering what it is. They're all draw distance issues, right? Bushes and shit popping in. And I don't know, man. I personally, and you guys, I want you guys to let me know afterwards, but I want to go into what I like about the game because I feel like people are just shitting all over it for issues that they're probably not even going to encounter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the combat to me is the best of any Mass Effect by far. Did anyone else agree? Disagree?
Oh, yeah. The gun work and the little knife.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah,
I love the hovering concept where you shoot them in midair. That shit's fun as hell.
When you're playing it, you forget that it's an RPG, and those segments, it's like you're playing an action game completely.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree.
To me, that's what makes the series great.
Yep, the dodge mechanic, all the jetpack work, all that stuff feels normal after like an hour or two of using it. You're like, this is like Mass Effect should have been, right? So they definitely place more of an emphasis on exploring. Obviously, the more you go to planets and hold left trigger and you can scan for anomalies, and then you can click on the planets and scan for more anomalies, and you can get resources. You're going to get out what you put in a game like that. It's like any game like that. And really, it's an RPG. People are forgetting to fucking role play. You're supposed to act like you're this guy exploring and all this shit. And fuck your friends, leave the party, focus on the game because you're not going to care for this game as much as you could if you're not focusing on the lore and the story and trying to get
attention to the conversations that you're having.
Yeah, like you get people in parties and they're just chatting it up, like they have no clue what's going on in the story, and they're like, why don't I like these characters and why aren't I connected to the story? There's a couple people I know that do that often, and it's unfortunate. Same reason a lot of people don't like The Witcher. They sit in parties and they don't focus on the story, which is what you need to do. So it does start out a bit slow. Combat's better than it's ever been. The Nomad's pretty awesome. Upgrading's cool. Crafting's simple and cool. And I see all of this is probably very well upgraded for the next Mass Effect. Because there will be another Mass Effect, right? So I don't know. In all the reviews, I didn't hear much about the story, to be honest, and most of the reviews I saw, they didn't even mention the story, and it's a story-based RPG. It's kind of confusing, but
and the
I don't know. I like it so far. I do.
and I find the graphics are excellent. A huge upgrade over Mass Effect 3. And I like the fact, like when you're in the ship and you're on the deck, how you can see at the top and see all the stars out there. And then when you're actually flying to the next planet, like to explore it, it's not like a cutscene. You actually kind of see the ship flying through the atmosphere as you approach the planet. It's just a really cool feeling. Like anyone that's a sci-fi fan or a fan of RPGs,
it kind of feels a little Stargate-ish to me.
It's a good game, and it's a big universe.
Dean, how far did you get? How far are you?
Well, I just finished off the first planet now, so I don't want to ruin what happens after that. So now I'm going further past that.
When you crash land that boom, and then you're looking for your members stuff.
Yeah, I already passed all of that, so I'm done with the first planet.
That's like the intro, basically. Yeah. He's basically done the story stuff on EOS. Yeah, and that's about where. Well, I got EOS up to about a 90% viability, so I've done quite a bit there. I mean, I'm just now moving on to my second story mission. I've solved a murder on the Nexus. I've done, I've done a lot of stuff that isn't the story. I branch out. But speaking of EOS, and when Dee mentioned the graphics, I do got to say, people, and we were talking about this before we went live, but people were talking about the graphics, and if you just played the trial, you didn't really see what EOS looks like, because keep in mind, if you look up, there's all kinds of storm clouds and all this shit going on, radiation. If you do the mission where the trial stops you, if you go through that door, do that mission, basically that's when you see the amazing lighting in Mass Effect Andromeda. The game looks so much better, because I was underwhelmed, especially with the lighting before. But after I did that part of the mission and then everything cleared up and I saw the lighting and stuff, I was like, wow, okay, this
you was a little down about the graphics, dealer? The
Say
game?
What?
You were a little upset about the lighting? What about the game?
Nah, in the trial, you weren't actually seeing
because you're underground a lot, and to be honest, some of the lighting there, it is a tad dark. I don't know.
I'm just saying, after you do that first mission where the trial stops you, the game actually, the graphics get better because all that lighting comes through the atmosphere, unlike in the trial. So the game actually looks better when you actually do that mission. So it only gets better. I think the game is good so far. I can't speak too much though.
And there's a lot of people talking about the animations, and the poor girl that did the animation for it got like a lot of death threats and kind of bullshit. And I've heard that she wasn't even responsible for all the animation. She came on late on the project, and she was only there for like
you fixed with a patch though,
a couple of months. It's not a perfect game. But I don't know. People blow shit out of proportion, man.
I don't see the issue why everybody's bitching about it. Like it's not a bad game. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm like 7 hours in. So it's like, I'm enjoying it.
I'm like 17, 18 hours in. I played the 10 hours of the trial, and I played.
Yeah, I didn't touch the trial, so I'm like, this is all new.
I don't know.
I'm just saying, it only gets better. It is a slow burn at the beginning. It does start out kind of slow. It does, especially if you walk around the Nexus and figure things out. But it does get better. And anyone sending death threats over something like fucking facial animations, it's their first try in Frostbite, right? And they did what they did. It's a massive game. It has more dialogue. The lowest dialogue character has more than the most dialogue character of any other game, right? Like, they've done their work here with dialogue. There's plenty of dialogue. So I understand it. It's going to be a technical thing that you got to look past. It's not even as horrible as a lot of people say. But if you're sending death threats over that, man, just Jesus.
And I don't understand it. You have games like Fallout 4, which is like far from a pretty game and far from technical and has a lot of jankiness to it. Yet everyone was sucking the dick of that game. You know what I'm saying? And you have Mass Effect that is doing a lot more. It's going through galaxies, and they want to hang on the little shits in the games. I don't get it, man.
Well, Fallout 4 does have better lip animation for sure, and it's actually a really good-looking game at max settings, I think. But Mass Effect's just a bigger game. There's no getting around that. It is what it is. But then you compare it to something like The Witcher, which had a smaller budget and probably is a bigger game and also has better. You can't make excuses for the guys. They did what they did. I think it's going to be a good first iteration. It's sitting at a 75. If you're thinking about getting, if you're even a Mass Effect fan, don't even question getting this game.
Yeah, if you're a Mass Effect fan,
you get it.
The game. Definitely get the game.
75. It's not trash, all right?
It's not trash.
I will say this. I guess giving the game a 75, like I said, a game with that caliber. Well, it does have kind of high standards. Mass Effect 2 was amazing. Like I said, I enjoy. I didn't really care for one. One's kind of slow. 2 I finished. 3 I finished. And it was, like I said, looking forward to. I thought it was gonna be Mass Effect Andromeda. What now? Yeah, echo now.
Echoing.
Yeah,
sorry, my bad.
Okay. Now again, even it getting a 75 is kind of like a for a game. Like I said, I guess it's like giving Halo a 75. And I'm not saying, Mass Effect is as big as Halo.
Well, 75 is classified as good, just so people know. Like, for some reason, people think a 75 out of 100 on Metacritic is bad or mediocre. It's actually classified as good.
I know, but what were the look at like this? Where were the other scores for the other games? They rate pretty high, if I'm not mistaken.
I get it. Yeah, I mean, especially after playing The Witcher, it's going to be hard to.
This fucking Witcher.
I'm sorry.
I know we need to pull some money together and get him a fucking Gerald fucking tattoo.
It never fucking fails, right?
You got to compare it to the benchmark.
It never fucking fails.
That's the benchmark. That's the benchmark. I'm sorry.
You're gonna pull that shit out of your flat ass every goddamn
I gotta interrupt you, but Witcher was the best game of all time. Just saying.
No, just
every show. You're talking about, you saw what happened? ISIS just blew up a building. Playing Witcher. Every fucking show.
It's still the benchmark. That's just the bottom line. So you got to compare it against the best. I like Mass Effect, so it is what it is. I like it. It's a different flavor. You're more mobile in this, and the combat's obviously different. So
I got a question. All right. So a couple big guns have came out within the last month or so. Horizon Zero Dawn, fuck Zelda. Horizon Zero Dawn, Mass Effect. All right. If you had to compare the two, and both of you guys played them, what is the better game?
I say,
to be honest with you, Horizon is to me is better looking graphically, but I still feel as though Mass Effect is a better game. Like, ideally, D, you were singing the praise of Horizon Zero Dawn a few shows ago. Like, how do you feel? What do you think is the better game?
Man, it's tough one. It's tough because I think they're both good games, but I'll say this: I'm playing Mass Effect right now. I'm not playing Horizon Zero Dawn. So,
and just to be clear, you haven't beat Horizon Zero Dawn, right?
No, I haven't beat it yet. But they're different games, and
RPGs, right?
Yeah,
action RPGs.
It's kind of an insult to even call Horizon an RPG in the same vein that Mass Effect or something.
Yeah, it's a lighter version. You know what? They're both good in their own regards, and I don't think they can really be compared to each other. They're quite
I think
different.
they can in certain ways, but it really doesn't matter because you know that no one's going to believe anything we say when it comes to Horizon. Even though we bought the console and we got the game, I guess we're just incapable of not being biased.
Horizon is a prettier game. I'll say that. I was watching some clip, some GIF today of water evaporating over time. So like there's a lot of detail in that game. Horizon is a well-detailed game. It's a good-looking game. I like the game too. I have to be honest, I might be a little bit biased because Mass Effect is one of my favorite games. So but at the same time, Horizon Zero Dawn is a good fucking game too. I can't knock it. I'm
more intrigued by Mass Effect's story already. And I actually want to go back to it, whereas with Horizon, popped it in. I was like, man, it's fucking blurry in checkerboard mode. Can't find the right mode I want to play with it, And then the story, to me, wasn't the greatest.
I'm not going to kill my wife, no!
Hey, my bum leg went out. Can you guys find my sword?
Yeah, I need a toothpick and a can of sardines. Could you go talk to the mother for me?
Yeah, and I'm sure Mass Effect has quests like that too, right? It's got to, but I've been doing some of the quests around the Nexus, like helping people find this or that, and even they throw twists into little things like that. It's not just fetch, right? They throw little twists into maybe finding out someone sabotaging equipment, or there's always little twists. And one where I was hoping to solve a murder on the Nexus, I actually had to go to a different planet to find the body to kind of get clues as to who really did it. So there's little quests like that too, but they're a little more complicated. And that's, like I said, that's the minuscule, tiny quests of Mass Effect. It's hard to compare them, man. But like I said, I want to go back to Mass Effect way more than I do Horizon.
For a newcomer, maybe who may have played on the Wii last generation, and went to Bible study, and so he said, I'm not gay no more, I'm delivered. You know what that shit that motherfucker say? But anyway, if a motherfucker never played Mass Effect, right? Never in their life, can they pick up the Mass? What's this for?
They can understand it just fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's not connected
Okay.
to the other one, and the stuff that is connected, it's like back
So
in the
are
day.
any of the other characters back? Where's Shepard? Is he? What's going on?
Everyone's dead. It's like 600 years in the
Yeah.
future. Or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 600 years in
So
the
ain't
future.
no more Shepard?
Yeah,
No.
Shepard's dead. He died in 3.
Yeah.
Well, I know they went. I know they went back
more.
and changed the story. You know.
Yeah, but it's 600 years, so he's not cryo frozen anywhere. He's
Well, he
done.
died in 2. Didn't he? Brought his ass back. If I'm not mistaken, or one.
Well, in 3, everyone died. Remember, you got to choose what color you died in and all that. So
yeah, but what I'm saying is this though. I know they redid the ending because in the end of 3, you did all that fighting and you still died at the end, which people were upset about. Like that was a hectic fucking battle. It was like Normandy or some shit. World War I. And you still die at the end, and you find out the Reapers weren't really bad. They were just wanting shit to start over. Cool. So I know they were. I guess I didn't go back and play the free DLC and how they changed the ending. So I don't know. Did he still? I guess people still die.
Bro, this game is a lot. Imagine Mass Effect 1. And when they said this in reviews, I was like, I don't know about that until I really started playing it. But imagine Mass Effect 1 with all the exploratory stuff, landing on planets.
Yeah.
And driving around, setting up outposts, helping those planets be viable. It's just different. It's just different. It's hard to explain. It's just a good game.
Quantify.
The only thing stopping you from playing this game and enjoying it is your willingness to sit there and say, okay, I paid $60 for this game. I'm going to soak in everything from this game that I can. And that's the only thing. So if you want to sit there and learn about what's going on and actually role play, that's the only requirement to enjoy this game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right.
And for those that don't like it, you can try to run through it and do just like the action and the straight story moments without.
There are some pretty good achievements, I will say, for such a big game. Normally, the achievements are spread out because there's more and more content.
Yeah, I keep getting
this game pops achievements pretty regularly. They're not bad, man.
Yeah. Well, all right. Moving right along. Something else I want to talk about. Gaming Bolt did the article today, which I did a video on a little while ago. Came out and basically saying, let me go to I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth. Basically, he said the Xbox One or the Xbox is not irrelevant as of yet, but it's receding. Gamers are losing interest in the platform. Like, what do you guys think on that?
Did these guys write an article last year when PlayStation sales plummeted? Xbox One did dominate the last half of the year in terms of MPDs. Correct?
Yeah.
In terms of console sales. So what was the article then about PlayStation? Non-existent, I'm guessing. I mean, this is the thing. People think that software sales are down for just because they're just down. Like when they don't think, people bought PS4 Pros and they want to see what that can do. They're going to buy it for the Pro, obviously. You're going to see the same trend this year with Scorpio. I've said it over and over. It's one of those things where they don't mention the fact that we've gotten 4 or 5 good AAA games probably in the last 6 months from Microsoft. And now that there was just Halo Wars 2, which was actually pretty good in my opinion. But that wasn't enough. And since Horizon Zero Dawn, which I don't even give a shit to play, just came out, and Zelda just came out, well, now Xbox is just irrelevant. Like, even though last year they didn't mention the fact that Sony didn't have anything all year pretty much except for Uncharted 4. And then they got like The Last Guardian at the end of the year.
But
right?
again, a dealer, like, and listen, and it's not no damage control, and this is being honest. Whether you like the Xbox brand or not, the Xbox doesn't get a fair shake, especially this generation.
It's a fucking fact.
Okay, fine. We can break that down as law, fact, right? But gamers are from what you call, what have you done for me lately? You know what I mean? And and even
either way, there's been those same articles all last year for Sony, and there weren't.
Bro, we established that it's very, things are slanted in Sony's favor. But what I'm trying to get at is that, like I said, gamers are from what have you done for me lately. Microsoft did just release Halo Wars 2, AAA, whatever, but that wasn't for everyone.
Yeah, it's more niche than I think. It's more niche than something like Neo, because RTSs, you either like them or you don't.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So they're looking at it as Microsoft hasn't released a game. What was the last game to come out before Halo Wars 2?
Dead Rising 4 in December, just a few months ago.
But but they only look at every other month. Microsoft's, hey, we have a new controller. You have a new controller, and they're getting teased for it. Xbox fans, we love our controller. I got about 50 of them. We love our fucking controllers. At the end of the fucking day, but so I don't know. Microsoft just had a big announcement 2 weeks ago. Xbox Game Pass. Then you had the developer come out from Shadow War, whatever the hell it's called.
Shadow War.
Yeah, Shadow War. I'm sorry, announcing 4K Scorpio support or whatever the hell. But I guess all of that flies under the radar. Like I said in my video, if you talk to any Xbox, gamer or whatever the hell, especially in the community, we're ecstatic. We're ecstatic. We like the way things are looking. Everyone's looking forward towards the Scorpio. They're acting like the Xbox One is like the fucking Wii U. You know what I mean? I guess now multiplats don't count anymore. Well, for the first 2.5 years, all the Sony had was multiplats. The Last of Us. I'm sorry, not even The Last of Us remastered and fucking Bloodborne for the first 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Fact, you know what I mean? But
it's hard to argue with people that are that hypocritical, and now they act like it never happened and power doesn't matter. It's just it's the same people damage controlling PS Now and all this. You can't fix those people. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, they're just stupid by nature. They can't be fixed.
Yeah, but the guy took the cake with all of them, even Jabari. I thought they would take their L and fucking hold their head up high. Well, there's technically PlayStation 4s in the cloud.
That moron tried to deny the Xbox Live is better than PSN the other day, which blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, I bet Jabari, we made a bet. He paid up. That's what motherfucker said. I honestly paid his bet on fucking on his YouTube shit. We made a bet. He said that PSN will be able to do everything that Xbox Live do. Sony's got to deal with rack space, and they bought guy
for more than a month at a time.
But shout out to Jabari. But I thought they would hold their fucking L and and take it, but nah, they gonna spin that shit to the end.
You guys said that Porter Rock basically he kept it real and said, "Yep, they're gone."
Cool dude,
Yeah, shout out to Porter Rock. I mean, it's hard to find a Sony dude that's especially that deep in Sony's asshole that keeps it real. So shout out to Porter Rock.
And Porter Rock, the only intelligent pony.
The dudes like Eric and Jabari and the dudes that are on crack and in denial and were born with meth in their system that say PSN is better than Xbox Live and just basic things that there are facts to disprove. I could link you the facts every time. That's a problem. And those are the kind of people that you can't really help. They're just trolls and they're living in a false reality. It kind of sounds familiar, right? Like a current president. So it is what it is.
Shit! Did you see that shit with the wiretapping and all?
I don't even want to fucking talk about it.
Oh my god!
Yeah, okay. You all live there, but like straight up, I'm Canadian, and like over here, we're looking like saying, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, this like not to derail it. I gotta say my piece on this, man. Like, first of all, this guy throws out these false accusations, and then he's got nothing to back him up. You got this.
He's got Breitbart.
No, he got alternate news.
Oh my god! Then you got this Spicer guy fucking talking a bunch of fucking crap. You got the FBI saying that his fucking peoples are under investigation with collusion with Russia. Like, what the fuck's going on?
The thing that's mind blowing is a lot of the lower wealth kind of rural people voted for this guy, and he's already taken from them. He's kicking millions off of healthcare on the lower end.
Yeah,
he's reducing the amount of coverage you get on the middle class end, and on the higher end, he's giving those motherfuckers tax breaks, which doesn't make any sense.
I don't think the poor white people. I'm not saying like I'm not saying
everybody.
I'm saying no, but I'm saying a lot of the poor white people voted Trump in, and these are the people that are gonna fucking suffer the most.
That's why I'm laughing.
As a country that spends more than I do believe the next eight nations combined on their military. Yeah, that's definitely we need another 54 billion added to that defense fund, don't we?
Yeah, it's 56% of our taxes that we pay go towards military defense.
This guy laid off fucking Elmo.
All right. Let's go back to gaming.
What the fuck is Elmo?
Yo, he cut funding to Sesame Street. PBS, no more funding.
Yeah.
Elmo's unemployed. Yes. Elmo go bye-bye. Elmo got no job no more.
The channel Sesame Street was on, which was 0.2% of all kind of any budget that they ever put towards it. Was only 0.2%. And he said, well, that's too much. Let's cut that. Kids don't get Sesame Street anymore.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't even know that. God damn.
Yeah, and hey, you gotta cut things like that to give your billionaire buddies with $1 million rocks in their ear a tax break. It makes no sense. So, It is what it is. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's go back to gaming.
Elmo say fuck Donald Grump.
Damn. All right. Moving right along. I just got an earful. Goddamn, Elmo's gone. Goddamn you, Trump. That's crazy. It's a wonderful day in my neighborhood. Wouldn't you like to be Trump's neighbor? All
Bitch,
right.
I live in a fucking trash can.
All right. Dealer, question for you, and this is directly for you. When you and Dealer, you guys are the tech guy. We also had some more juicy Xbox Scorpio stuff come out. Have you guys heard or keeping up with it?
Depending on what it is.
Depends what it is.
It's hard to believe I haven't heard about it.
Okay, well, we can start. Well, as far as the name, they're saying that the name is going to be rumored to be Xbox One X. How do you guys feel about that?
That sounds gay as all hell, but
sounds like something T Reaper would pee on.
Yeah, I think it's a shitty name, to be honest with you. But I think it comes from. I still don't want to report on this, but I think it comes from that Forza X leak that people.
Oh, we can talk about that. They took a picture. Was that at GDC?
Yeah. But the problem is that the guys over at Turn 10, they said that that's not their graphic.
This ain't the first time somebody tried to leak a Forza Motorsport game where you would race boats and all kinds of shit like years ago. It never happened. I don't know. It is what it is. I don't care. They got a challenge.
It's kind of non-news anyways because we do know a Forza is coming out anyways this year. So like,
yeah. As a matter of fact, if we find out Forza Motorsport 7's release date, I guarantee you that's the easiest way to find out Scorpio's release date.
Yeah.
They're gonna release those 2 day and date.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be a launch title for sure.
Well, the reason why it doesn't really make a difference because you have the Xbox One S. That's still you can use that.
They need. I know that you get all these games as back compat, and we know all of them will have automatic full image super sampling and all that stuff, right? But here's the deal: people say, "Oh shit, this is 4K 60." They don't want to get this and then 3 weeks later go out and get the console they got the game for. They're going to want to. It's just like Forza 5. Like a lot of people picked up X1 because Forza 5 looks so phenomenal and this and that. They're going to want to push these 2 day and date. It makes perfect sense. Get a game, get a console. Like they try to do this at the same period. So I think it'll be day and date if we can find out Forza 7's release date. I think that's Scorpio's release date.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, normally, given Microsoft history, it'd be a week before Black Friday. The console will be out is what I'm betting on.
Probably. Who knows?
And then whatever big third-party AAA multi-plat what comes out. Well, you got Duty. You got the new Star Wars
Battlefront 2.
Yeah, that's going to be out. And I know Microsoft. I'm sorry. I know Sony has the marketing deal for still Call of Duty, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know about the Star Wars. But I don't know if Sony has the Star Wars. That'd be Duty and Destiny. You know what I mean? Because they don't really. I'm sorry. Go.
I think there's a good chance that Microsoft will get the Star Wars thing because I do know they are pretty cozy with EA. So if they want something with EA, they can get it.
Well, I'm just saying Sony had the last one. I don't know if that was a multiple deal. We don't really know about.
I don't even care who gets it as long as Scorpio gets a patch for it.
I remember last year these guys saying that they wanted their goal was to have their engine running. Remember on DX12 they said all this shit.
That wasn't last year. That was like 2 years ago.
Okay, so
Battlefront 1 did use DX12 and X1.
Yes, but on the Scorpio, this would be the fucking real deal.
Even without DX12, the game would be fucking phenomenal looking. So it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Now, something that's more interesting is the fact that we know Fallout 4 is coming to the Scorpio, is getting a patch.
Yes.
And we also, thanks to AMD, they said they've got a partnership with Bethesda where they're going to be injecting all of their kind of new technologies, their API use, all that stuff's going to be optimized for all the Bethesda games. So I wonder if we'll see that translated in the Scorpio version of Fallout 4. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, I know that's been confirmed because they were there at the they showed their thing at when Microsoft had the trailer or whatever.
Yeah, I know that. I know it's going to be in there. I'm just saying. I wonder.
They even also said Skyrim. Well, I got something, but also too, I heard Skyrim was getting, goddamn Skyrim, Scorpio, whatever the goddamn case.
So you have the title of this podcast as Bad Reviews for Mass Effect because
I changed it.
Oh, did you? Okay, well, I heard that going around anyway. Maybe we should cover that. I mean, some people think that Mass Effect's bad reviews are coming from early access on Xbox One. I don't agree with that, but
I don't agree that either.
Going around.
It was also on PC on Origin Access too, so I don't really see that as being a valid claim, to be honest with you. I just think people got their hands a little bit early, and there is a little bit of jankiness in certain parts of the game, and these people are just blowing it out of proportion. That's what it is. It's not a perfect game.
You should hunt down the user review scores for both all three platforms, and let us know what it is. Can you do that right now? Are you at a PC?
Yeah. Just give me a second.
PS4, I think I saw it was like a 3.4 out of 10 on the user side, which is really low for a game like this. Any game, really. Godzilla was around there.
But playing the game, I'm pretty straight up. If it was a shitty game, I would say it. I wouldn't be playing it.
Yeah, like this game actually makes you want to play it, which is very rare nowadays.
Yeah, and something that might have some people confused is when they're driving around, they might get a bunch of radiation and they die off like halfway in the field, right? Trying to get through to an area of interest. The radiation chews through their Nomad and all that. I'm still struggling with that. I did upgrade the Nomad's defense to try to get further into the radiation to like a new area of interest. I'm not quite sure how that works, if you unlock an upgrade that lets you get through that, or if the radiation will clear up over time. I don't know, but you're not the only one wondering how that works, so just know that.
Hey, All Day, how are you?
I'm doing good, bitch. How about yourself?
Hey, what's up, nigga? You done getting stretched out, man?
What are you? So did someone lay you on your stomach? What the fuck's going on, bro?
Nah, I ain't with all that punk shit. What up?
Oh shit.
Next, I was getting my ass ate with a tongue ring. You nasty fucker. But anyway, as I was saying, dealer. So you guys said you don't think it has nothing to do with that?
No.
Why? I don't know. Why is it getting such hate though?
What was the question, bro?
Yeah, why is it getting
it's the same reason.
Like, what's wrong with it?
Well, let me jump in this motherfucker real quick. Nah, what it is, bro, I think the reason why it doesn't get any passes from me is because it's 2017. This is your fourth installment. Some of these animation problems have been current throughout the whole series, so they should be fixed by now. No excuse for that.
But it could be fixed with a patch, though.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
Dealer 3.8 on PlayStation 4 for the user score.
For what game?
Mass Effect.
3.8.
Hey, man, yeah. I'm enjoying the combat. I'm enjoying myself right now. I mean,
but it's at a 75 on PS4.
You guys haven't tackled this. How's the multiplayer?
I haven't tried the multiplayer yet, to be honest with you. But I heard it's really fun. I heard
co-op horde mode type game.
Yeah,
how was it though?
I heard it's good.
Yeah, we need to hook up and we all go live. And I mean, D, your account is silver, isn't it? Poor bastard.
No, I got gold, man.
You got gold around my nuts.
He said he got goat. You didn't hear him?
Yeah, I got goat, man. I got goat. Man. Also, too, like I said, it was also too. I wanted to ask you guys this. There've been some things coming out, like I said, about Scorpio. I wasn't going to do a separate video about this, but I double dip about the option setting, or the giving you the option to choose between, I guess, 4K 60. 1440p, upsampling with all the bells and whistles. Like, what do you guys think about that? Do you think it's a good thing that if the Scorpio developers, well, they said for sure what far as with first party games, but that developers give you the option. I just want fucking better graphics. I want my fucking face to melt.
I didn't actually cover this again because I covered this 6 months ago.
I know,
because because we heard about this being a thing on the Pro. We've seen the results of that. Some games are doing that more and more all the time. It's going to be an option on Scorpio. So I didn't even touch on it because, of course, it's going to be an option. So now, whether or not the CPU you're going to give 60 FPS on every game, that's the question. But hey, I'm being optimistic. I think it will give us 60 frames option on more games.
Yeah. The option is great because if you want, so say it can't get 60 frames, you have the choice, I'll go 4K 30 frames per second, or I'll go 1440p 60 frames per second. So the choice is better to have it.
Let me ask you, look like this. If this thing was to get Vega or whatever's getting Ryzen, whatever the goddamn case may be, there's also some rumors that the Surface Pro 5, whatever it's supposed to have, Vega, Ryzen, whatever the fuck. I don't see why it couldn't get 60. Just being honestly, especially with such a high memory bandwidth. But maybe the future games, games can become more demanding graphically, engines and stuff. Maybe that would be maybe the 30. But if they're gonna do, to me, it would be a waste if they're gonna put out quote unquote this huge premium console, whatever the fuck they want to call it, and it can't get 60 on the engines that we have right now. And still
that's not the issue, bro. Like with this kind of power, you could on the PC. You could easily get 60 frames a second.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
on any game in the world. The problem is we don't know what CPU the thing is. It's gonna have an APU for one. It's not just gonna be taking a Ryzen CPU off the shelf and throwing it in there, right? So it's gonna have an APU that hasn't been announced yet.
It's gonna be custom.
Yeah, and we just don't know if they're giving it the capability to keep up with the GPU when it comes to your frame rate. So
it depends on the game. It depends on the developer. It depends on what.
Your 60
okay, but because you have games on the PC that a 1080 can't run at 4K 60 frames per second.
Well, listen, look like this. Now, listen, I'm not the most savvy guy when you guys, with the tech stuff. But I look like this. I do know this. You need your CPU to feed your GPU. And I don't see them putting this beast fucking GPU and coming with some fucking Puma or Jaguar.
No, it's not. It definitely.
I mean, they could do it if they wanted 30 FPS.
No, we can ignore that fucking Jaguar shit.
They've been saying 4K 60 since E3.
From 4K 60 frames per second recording is being done.
Yes.
Forget about that shit. It's definitely got fucking Ryzen in it. 100%. It's some custom form of Ryzen.
4K DVR, which I think is really going. That's why honestly, that's why I really think the Scorpio is going to shine, especially here in the YouTube community. Which content creators, what we do here, and the bigger guys, whether they choose to admit it or not, whether they're using the Scorpio or not. We talking about no extra wires, straight out of the box, 4K fucking 60. You know what I mean? I'm hoping they fucking upload studios. I don't know what the fuck's that about.
I don't want people to think that's going to be the norm though, because it's not.
If I can say something,
I've said this 100 times, and people act like I'm fucking delusional.
But you probably tell you Witcher at the end of it though. They didn't know what the fuck you were talking about. But get to what happened.
Whatever. I say 4K 30 is going to be common on Scorpio, and that will be the case.
Why?
It will be common because it's enough power, especially because the CPU is not a factor at 30 frames per second. You got to understand that's why the Ryzen CPUs were slower than the Intel CPUs a lot of times at 1080p, because at 1080p they were pairing them with GPUs that were ridiculously powerful, way more powerful than any console. Right? So the higher frame rate you get, that shows the boundaries of your CPU, because the CPU is handling the draw calls to send to the GPU to render the frame. That's why they were doing 1080p testing and not 1440 and 4K testing like AMD wanted. Okay, so at 4K 30, the CPU will not be an issue. Much like it has been this generation, the CPU has actually not been the bottleneck this generation at 30 frames that a lot of people think it has. Like, PS4 has a slower CPU and was still consistently outperforming Xbox One. Keep that in mind.
No,
so
I gotta disagree with that.
No. Hear me out here. I'm not done. All right, I'm saying 30 frames.
Give him a chance. Give Donald J. Trump a chance. Let me go. You gotta go.
I'm saying obviously the faster your CPUs are better, and with these Pumas or with the Jaguar and these consoles, obviously when you've got explosions and alpha effects, that's going to cause dips more frequently. But at 30 FPS, these things can handle 30 draw calls per second. That's what they were aiming for. They weren't expecting 60 FPS to probably be as popular as it is this generation. So that's what I'm saying. At 4K 30, you can have a lower power CPU. That's been proven over and over.
Okay,
and it'd be all right at 30 frames per second.
But that'd be okay if they didn't leak out that it's going to be 4K 60 frames per second recording. Why would you have 4K 60 frames recording for 4K 30 frames?
That's streaming, and yes, they will be 4K 60 frames per second games like Forza Motorsport 7, as I predicted almost a year ago.
I got a question before D hops in with his shit. I got a question, right? You take a game like Mafia. Oh, give me a popular third party game, AAA multiplayer.
Penis Lover.
Yeah, I told you was laid on his stomach. I told you all day was being all gay. Well, you look at it. I'm saying, is Mass Effect, is that 60 frames on PC?
No. Yeah, no, it's 60 frames on PC. At some people are getting it at 1440p, and you can get it at 1080p. Not 4K one card. No.
Oh, okay, whatever.
We're not talking about 4K, are we? Did you say 4K?
No, I'm talking about the frames per second.
Okay, I was like, no.
Oh, yeah, it's at 60. Yeah, it's at 60. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So again, especially with the universal UDP or whatever the fuck. Well, I don't understand why Scorpio games wouldn't be 60 frames per second.
It's not a limitation of the code, man. It's a limitation of the potential hardware. Now, I don't think it will be a bottleneck because Phil has referenced balance and all that stuff, right?
Okay,
but I'm just saying 30 frames per second isn't as hard to run for something like a lower power CPU.
I get it, but the other thing what I wanted to add to this also too, I know it comes down to the API, and like you have some graphic engines are more GPU heavy. And then I would give you a prime example. You remember we're boogieing them. He hit me up behind the scene. Remember they were starting this shit. PS4 hashtag no parity. Remember that shit? I'm mad. And I said, and like I said, I know some people that know some people that know some people. It said it's not. I said, what if it's the PS4 that's holding the Xbox One back? You know what I mean? Because that what was the Snowdrop? It was the shit Infinity. I mean, Snowdrop, which is more CPU heavy. And you saw a game like that, Assassin's Creed, what Unity? Or what the fuck it was called? Ran better on the Xbox One because, it's not by much, but it's clocks.
Exactly. That and Hitman are pretty much the examples you can point to as to a CPU bottleneck on these consoles.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what graphics engine.
At 30 frames.
Yeah, I think, I think these new consoles like the Scorpio, it's going to really take advantage of these new APIs like DX12. So it's going to be doing things a lot more efficiently. It's
Fully
gonna,
DX12.
I really think a lot of games, I don't think every game is going to be 4K 60 frames per second. It's not. But I think there's going to be a good number of games that will be 4K 60 frames per second. It's not going to be 4K 30 frames per second because you know what? 60 frames per second is a fucking thing now.
Yeah, but I say
that's why they give you the option.
Well, I'm talking about for now. What we have right now, the graphics engines that they're making now. I don't see no why. Like I said,
we're also talking about AAA games too, right?
Okay, fine. What I'm saying is this: if the Xbox One or whatever the fuck you want to call it, the Xbox, if they can give you 1080p or 980p 30, we talk, and that's 1.3 teraflop. We're talking about. I'm hearing 6.4 T-flops in a fucking closed environment.
That's on the GPU side.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But again, I don't see they putting this beast fucking GPU. They said no bottle. They said an even, balanced thing.
I know. I agree. And that's what I just said. I don't think it will be as handicapped as what a lot of people would like it to be. But when it comes to
couple years,
when it comes to 4K, when it comes to ambient occlusion, when it comes to the textures, when it comes to all this shit that you can get tessellation, that's all being pumped out by the GPU. So when people say it's not doing 4K, it doesn't matter what the CPU is. It will do 4K. When people say it won't have better graphics, it doesn't matter what the CPU is. It will have better lighting, tessellation, things like that, right? That's the benefit. You're getting 4K. You're getting these things. Now, if the CPU's right, you'll be able to have a 60 frames per second option on all these AAA games. That's the only variable. Either way, you're going to be blown the fuck away. There's nothing to bitch about, nothing to complain about, but don't expect 4K 60 on every fucking game. Maybe expect 60 frames, the option on every game. That would be awesome.
You'll see how they could not, though, dealer.
Well, I do. I don't. I mean,
I watched your video, dealer. What card do you have? What do you have?
It's an RX 480.
I don't know much about it.
I'm not even comparing directly to PC. Like I said, there will be several advantages on the console side.
Okay.
Right? I was very realistic with that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying you need a tremendous, like, for example, a game that's 4K 30. Let's say I'm getting 4K 30 on a game with 6 teraflops.
Okay.
To get 4K 60, I would need closer to 10 or 12 teraflops.
This is what okay, I understand.
Yes, and I agree with you, dealer, on that. However, with the new architecture that Vega is providing, things are different. They're not done the same way. So
and that's why I say there are variables we don't know. It doesn't really matter what the fuck's in this thing. It's going to be amazing. Just don't go in expecting it, because at the worst case scenario, you get let down. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, but
I've been looking at a lot of the leaks for Vega, and thus far,
what about the CUDA cores?
The fucking Vega, what's been leaked, like these are like legitimate tests, like on the benchmarks. So like it's legitimate.
When does it come out?
And I think it probably May June is coming out.
Okay, all right.
So and the tests that are coming out, it's coming higher than a 1080. Close to a 1080 Ti, and these are like with unoptimized fucking baby engineering fucking drivers. So once they optimize this shit,
you gotta tell them the rest of the story is that's the fucking high end Vega that's like 10 or more teraflops, though, right?
We're not sure.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much what everything's been confirming is that's going to be around 10 to 11 teraflops, maybe a little more. So, if they do take that chip and downclock 64 compute units at around 800 megahertz, That's a massive downclock, but it's going to be great for consoles, durable, use way less power, and you're going to end up with around 6 teraflops, more than capable.
But I don't think Vega is going to equate to the same type of teraflop performance that we get under Polaris or Fiji.
Is what you did, and he was kind of in disbelief when he saw my benchmark video with Forza
That's what I was going to ask you. Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. Like, you have an AMD card, right?
Yeah.
Now
I've had NVIDIA, I've had AMD. I'm really liking this RX 480.
Okay, and comparing it to what NVIDIA has, give me like what card would that be?
GTX the 10. It's faster than the 6 gig model of the GTX 1060. Yeah, which the 3 gig model of the 1060 is like 10 to 15% slower than the 6 gig.
So model. You have so as far as teraflop performance, how much brute force?
5.93 at 1288 core card.
Okay, so we can get and you're doing 4K 60.
Like Forza Motorsport 6 Apex, which is Forza Motorsport 6, but
in an open fucking.
Let me tell you just an example of what you can expect from Forza 7. With less power, and keep in mind my GPU has 70 gigabytes less per second of memory bandwidth than the Scorpio has already been confirmed to have. So it's a massive advantage there as well in Scorpio. Plus, Scorpio's base number at 6 teraflops is faster than my GPU. It'll probably be around 6.4, like you said. On my 5.9 T-flop GPU, and you can go check this video out on my channel right now. I test this card at a locked 4K 60, pretty much max settings. Now I did another test in the top comment. Click the link. It's an unlisted video. Up to over 110 FPS, 4K, ultra settings, 2x anti-aliasing. And that, I proved that in the video. So you can expect 4K 60, as I predicted a year ago on Forza Motorsport 7. Games like that, very well optimized. I was doing good numbers even on Forza Horizon 3 at 4K. So I'm just saying, keep your expectations in check, but know that you're getting 4K. Know that you're getting better graphics. It's coming. Nothing to complain about.
Okay. And
another thing that's good too with this system, not possibly. I think it's going to have Ryzen. With it having Ryzen in, is all the PC guys. They're going to get full optimization because developers are going to be using the fucking Ryzen CPUs in the Xbox. And they're going to get very familiar with it, and they're going to optimize the fuck out of it because Ryzen is doing pretty good right now, and these guys haven't even fucking touched it. They're like, oh, what's this? A new CPU? Oh, okay. And it's already kicking ass, and it's got so many cores. It's affordable. I'm fucking excited. Like, Microsoft really has the opportunity to fucking do something really crazy here to turn the tide around. They really.
There's a reason he said don't pre-order till you see the games and you're happy. So but no one's ever done that before. That speaks for itself.
That's what I wanted to say though, before Dave went to talk about. What I'm saying is this: you're a PC, right? And this much I do know. You know what I mean? That regardless of what, even you can have a GTX 1080 Ti or whatever the hell. What's that? What was that? 12, 10, 11, 12 flops, whatever.
I think it's like 10.
Whatever. All that's not allocated for gaming. You know what I mean? Because you have other shit working. If you're watching, what I'm saying is, if you're watching this shit right now on a computer, just hit Control Alt, look at your CPU usage. You know what I mean? All that stuff there is not just allocated for gaming. But for as a console, they're gonna be able to use whatever's there. You know what I mean?
It's definitely a targeted platform. That's
for sure.
So
what I'm trying to say, so if the Scorpio, and you have a pretty decent rig, it's gonna dance circles around your PC. Would you agree to that?
Looking at past tests with even comparing AMD APUs and consoles to equivalent desktop class GPUs on the NVIDIA side, which have been more efficient, especially in the past, it's been very close. So that's what I say. There's no way you don't get graphics and performance in terms of 4K and all those options.
Graphics. But the thing with Vega is that they utilize bandwidth, so they use the bandwidth more efficiently, and they get a lot more out of the bandwidth. So you're finally going to start to really see tiled resources and all this shit being done. And the fact that it has 320 of bandwidth. Sorry, gigabytes per second of bandwidth.
Are we going with? Is it still 12 gigs? Or they rumored it's 12 gigs, right?
It's 12.
It's rumored, it's good because dealer's card has less bandwidth than that.
Okay, so we're saying at least 8 for game, 4 going to be for the OS.
I would say not even 4, probably.
I mean, old shit, Mike. It's probably going to do a bunch of other shit.
I would say 1 for the OS because Windows 10 is pretty efficient. I've run Windows 10 on some.
But they talking about recording, gameplay,
weak devices.
you're gonna need some RAM for that. We talk about
and
4Ks.
Xbox One now is using 3 operating systems.
Yeah,
I
think
at the worst it's going to be 4, and that means you got 8 gigabytes available.
But to be honest with you, I mean, unless something changes, you don't need. I remember the guy from DICE was up there talking about Battlefield. Battlefield 4 back in the launch, and when Sony came out and said we got 8 gigs of RAM or whatever the hell. And then, then something leaked and said it was only going to be 5.5 or 5 allocated for gaming. That's when the Hip Hop Gamer was a fucking madman. And this being a YouTube content creator, making videos and you can do this.
Yes.
You need RAM, in the background. and the guy from DICE said he said you really can't use more than 6 gigs in the game because it'll pull back. You know what I mean?
Yes, but AMD kind of addressed this at GDC. So they said that before in all the other architectures that we weren't using all of the RAM. We were using like 3 gigs of the RAM, and with Vega, they actually utilize all of the RAM. So when developers know that all this RAM is being utilized, they'll be able to up the ante. And as far as content creating stuff, I have to agree with you so much here. Like, I can't wait. Like, honestly, to tell you, that's the downside to my Xbox One S. I have to admit. Like, I don't even really upload videos on my Xbox One to anymore because it's too much of a fucking process. I gotta do it to upload Studio. I gotta do this. I gotta do that.
You gotta throw it to OneDrive, and then you gotta download that. It's annoying.
Yeah. I have a Elgato, and it's like, honestly, tell you, and I hate to say this, Xbox guys are gonna get mad at me here, but the PS4 Pro makes it so fucking easy to upload gameplay to YouTube or to stream it to YouTube, and at 1080p, 60 frames per second. I don't even really use my Elgato. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just upload stuff on PS4 and on my PC, and my Xbox gameplay footage is kind of just fucking
That's
sitting
definitely
there.
one way that they need to improve. They know that.
And it's also 720p that it records it from as well. From the Xbox, it doesn't record it at 1080p. So that's it's another fucking downfall.
Yeah, on the Pro, it does record it's anywhere from 720 to 1080, but on the regular PS4, it's pretty much the same resolution.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
is what it is.
I'm excited, man. I'm really excited. I'm really excited.
Not saying that I don't want everything to be 4K, all this shit, but all these messages I'm getting, these leaks, right? There's a reason I don't cover this stuff. It's because it's unsubstantiated. I can easily come up with theories myself and say the same shit.
The tempered expectations.
It's just people used to think I was the guy blowing this out of proportion, and now everybody's risen to my level, right, in regards to what they're expecting, and now they're expecting double that performance in some areas, and I'm like, hey, hold on, 4K 60 in games like Forza, 4K 30 on average in games like Gears of War 4 single player, and maybe a lower resolution 60 frames per second option. That would be ideal.
I would say this. I from Microsoft first party studios, and everything should be 4K 60 HDR with all bells and whistles. Okay, but let me say this: just going back to what Phil said, they wanted a true step up as far as technology, and as far as yes, you got the Vega and the Rise and whatever. And I did a video about this almost a year ago. And with this time, everyone said I was lying about these next gen consoles, whatever, the Pro and the Scorpio, that they were making the chips, the SoCs for a major, publisher or whatever for the console releasing in 2017. And I said, then it was going to be the Xbox, whatever, the next Xbox. I didn't know the name Scorpio. But again, if you look at what Phil said, because let's be honest here, nothing stopped them with what we have right now from putting out a console that's 6 T-flops. You understand what I'm saying? Nothing stopped.
Yeah, it's all in the interest of price.
Yeah, but whatever. They could have used some cheap shit like Sony did. Just made it 6 T-flops. They could have did that. But if you go on what he said, they wanted a true step up as far as what with technology, and also too true rough fucking VR. They keep pounding that home. True fucking VR. You know what I mean? So.
Well, they also pounded it off their website for a while, so I wouldn't pay too much attention to the VR bullshit for a little while. I think they're not going to push it year one. I think they'll start pushing it year 2, maybe, when those headsets come out and they get down in price. It'll be capable of VR. We all know that. It is what it is, but in terms of performance, I expect good things. If they give you a 60 FPS option at 1440p, which is still higher than most gamers have ever seen in their life, it looks phenomenal, trust me. That will blow your fucking mind at ultra settings. You don't got to have 4K. So expect good things. It doesn't matter what.
Yeah, I don't think this is. I don't think this is going to be the 1440p box. I think this is going to be. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a 4K console with the option for users that have like a 1080p screen that want to get a little bit more performance out of it, that they'll be able to like.
So I mean, what are you saying in terms of 60 FPS? You're saying everything will be 4K 60?
What we have right now is shit.
I'm saying the majority of the games are going to be 4K 60 frames per second. Yeah.
Well, look at this, Dylan. What's out right now?
Because like like just with going by PC specs alone, some of these games that are out now, if you just dipped it down to high, you could get 4K 60 frames per second.
But even better than that, what's out right now that can't, what's out right now, literally this out right now, you think about what's rumored to be in the Project Scorpio, that it won't be able to run. We've been playing for the last.
I can't even get 4K 30 out of The Witcher 3 on Ultra settings.
Oh, fucking God, Witcher 3.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying, you guys, it's not as easy as you think, but it will be doable.
But also, too, you're on PC, right? And you have a card that's whatever 5. One thing consoles do have on their side is optimization.
Yeah. I know that, but I think it'll be optimized to hit 4K 30 Ultra. Yeah, but I don't think 30 more fucking frames a second. It's not realistic.
Yeah, it's a different, it's a different architecture, and like I've been following AMD from day one on this. Like I said, I invested stock because of this stuff, because of Vega, and it utilizes the bandwidth a lot more efficiently. And we just have to, we just have to hold our horses, and we just have to wait until we get more concrete and official information on Vega.
Dance circles around the Polaris shit,
and that's real soon, because there's some refreshed Polaris cards, the RX 500. I think there's like a 560, 570, 580. Okay. They're about to come out in the next few weeks, so they're gonna bang those ones out, and those are just a refresh. Those aren't new. And then after that, they're gonna start getting into the details of Vega. And once we know the details of Vega, then we will have some realistic expectations.
Okay, I got a comment here from Jesse Holiday. He said not even a $2,000 PC are doing 4K 60. Did you just not watch?
That's not true.
Yeah,
stupid.
I mean,
I just told you in this video.
You can build a 4K PC for $600 and get 4K 60 frames per second. So get the fuck out of here.
Depends on the game. A lot of these guys don't have PCs and they watch benchmarks with all the anti-aliasing activated. Yeah. They don't understand that a $200 GPU like the RX 480 can do 4K 110 plus frames a second ultra settings with 2XA enabled on Forza Motorsport 6, which I've proven. So, just don't come here saying what is and isn't possible, because you haven't tried it yourself.
I hate when that's one thing I said. I hate when they say
not even a 2000. Do you have a PC? No.
Yeah, you're not doing it. But like I said, even if you do have a $2,000 rig, whatever's in your rig, I'll give you got 96 gigs of RAM and all that shit there is not allocated for gaming with the Xbox Scorpio, even the Pro. That's why I'm pissed off at the Sony. That okay, go.
This is a fact, because I'm in the preview program on Windows, and they've implemented a new game mode that actually tries to make it like a console. So if all those resources were allocated to your gaming, there'd be no need for such a fucking mode.
Yeah, what I mean? That sometimes gets lost in translation. The last thing I wanted to say here before we get the hell out of here: new rumors of Kinect 3.0. What are you guys' thoughts?
No.
It only makes sense to refresh the Kinect and drive the price down of it. Yeah. I think they might do it as kind of like just a peripheral.
Yeah, I'm just saying they need it. Especially for us YouTube content creators. You got a 4K console. Why not have a 4K fucking camera?
If they do a refresh on the Kinect, I guarantee you they've gotten the power usage so far down on that thing that it doesn't need any kind of external power brick. You can just plug it in USB and get power to it.
Yeah,
I'm happy with mine, so I don't.
No, I'm just saying, dealer. D. I'm sorry, you do videos, but you just think about us twitching. Everything on YouTube now, even with that, far as is 4K. Microsoft has Beam. You know what I mean? You live streaming like again. I don't think they could do a bundle, but don't push it. Don't make it.
No, don't push it. No, don't push it.
You know what I mean?
Separate for content creators, that's fine. Give them the option.
You know what I mean? Or leave it. I wouldn't mind buying a bundle, but if it's cheaper, I would get. Of course, I'm gonna get the biggest one, God willing.
And of course, they confirm that you can use your current Kinect with the Scorpio.
I think that would be dope shit. That came out. I don't know. I heard about the day. I've been flying on the radar, but heard about the day Kinect 3.0. I think I will be fucking ecstatic. Dope shit. 4K. What's this Kinect here? It's 1080p, right?
Yeah, it's 1080p.
Okay, but you can't.
And they barely utilize this Connect, which pisses me off because this Connect is like so fucking advanced. Like has like infrared technology. It can like see your fucking heart beating. You can see your fucking veins.
I would like to get you know what? Like again, and because motion control gaming, I think that's fucking gone. But you know, if they, you know, just with Beam and Upload Studio, they gotta. I know they're gonna do reamp that shit because we still got fucking skins from.
They have to.
Yeah, you know what I mean. What's that shit? PlayStation? What's it called? PlayStation? What's Sony shit called?
Share Factory.
It's shitting on. You know what I mean? On.
Oh yeah, it's miles better. Like it's like a touch of a button and it's done. And it does it actually quick.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the actual content. You know, the stuff. You know, it's much better than Upload Studios. I heard, like I said, I heard this about a month ago. They were re-ramping it for Scorpio, which I hope so. But yeah, I'm all dealer. No Connect 3.0 for you.
I just use the one I got, man. I don't really use it, to be honest.
But what for fucking YouTube, you bitch? Did you not hear what I just said?
He wants to look at that camera that's off the pixelator.
I don't know, man.
You guys, I'm the only fucking true Xbox fan here.
Right.
What about you, TV? I mean, you're back there quiet as hell, pissing and everything. You haven't said nothing in 45 fucking minutes.
Except I did talk in the beginning of the show, so yeah I did talk. No Connect for me. I have one, but
You want to get the 4K 60 Connect?
No, man. Why the fuck would I need that when I have a fucking camera on my computer?
Cut this motherfucking bike off, man.
Why the fuck would I need that when I have a camera on my computer?
Listen, you are a YouTube content creator yourself.
Yeah, but I don't even use Upload Studios. I like that. That's the whole point why I joined YouTube.
Listen,
because I know
you're not hearing what I just said. You want to be able to capture 4K 60 on your console.
Yeah, and then all I would do is just take the Scorpio, record it, and put it on my computer, and then do everything by X, Y, and Z. That's how I do it now. Like, because I agree with D that using Upload Studio is a pain in the ass, and you should not need to do it because most of the time when you have like a humongous file, sometimes it freezes on you, and then you have to do everything all over again. Yeah. So most of the time, what I just do is I just record the stuff on the Xbox, assuming I'm not using my Elgato to stream or anything. I take my Windows 10, Xbox app. I download the files, and then I convert the files into MP4s, and then I just create the files from there. It goes directly from the Xbox Live server to my computer. Then the computer shows my files, and I just download the files from there. It's like the simplest way to do it without using Upload Studios. I do realize there's a decent amount of us that use Upload Studios to do our videos, and more power to you. But I just find it's easier.
There's no way that system doesn't improve with new hardware. There's no way it doesn't, especially
I'm sure
4K news to 4K 60
gameplay
capture. It's not even using the same software. If that's the case, I'm not too worried about it. It'll be fixed this year, so it does need to be improved though.
Dealer, you asked me a question earlier about Mass Effect. So on the PS4 on Metacritic, it's rated at 75 Metascore and a user score of 3.8. On the Xbox, it's got a Metascore of 77 and a user score of 3.9. And on PC, it has a Metascore of 78 and a user score of 4.1. So according to Metacritic, the PS4 version is actually the lowest rated version.
I wonder why the user score is so much lower than that's not
strange.
Based off 10 reviews.
Yeah, well, these are like people going on there and doing these reviews, the user score. So I'm guessing they're just.
That's why I was saying. That's what I was saying. Do you think is getting such low scores because it was released on the Xbox?
Well, fuck the user score for the most part.
Well, these are on PC too. They're doing the same thing. They're like some guys like this deserves no Mass Affection. Keep it short. Mass Effect 1, 2, 3 are about the story, character, species, relationship. This one sucks. I hope everyone enjoys this game. It sucks. Just like a complete mess. Come on.
If somebody says something sucks and doesn't really give me any real reasons why, then I'm not too worried about it.
How do you rate the game a fucking 1? Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, it doesn't deserve a 1.
Not even Godzilla is a 1.
Come on. How the fuck you giving this game a fucking 1?
You get 3 points just for sitting on your computer chair.
This guy rated it a fucking 0. This is an insult to us real Mass Effect fans. A 0. Really?
You probably didn't even play it, bro.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right.
I would like to hear from someone that's actually finished it already, because I want to know, like, because the story is like, it gets confusing the farther you get into it. So
This is not a game that people want to speed run through, man. To be honest with you, so
yeah, if you're doing it, you're doing it the wrong way. I know Z's probably wanting to kind of close out the show, but I did want to say, it's not that I don't want this thing to be a 20-core fucking 50 teraflop machine. But I'm just saying I got a pretty damn good track record. I'm just saying I think 4K 30 on average with AAA games with a 60 frames per second option at a slightly lower resolution. That's all I'm saying.
I would agree with you with this. I would say if it's 4K 30, it's going to be on the developers' end, not because the console can't.
Well, I think not that there won't be 4K 60 frames games, as I've said. Like Forza 7 will be 4K 60. But I think on average, Shadow of War, I think will be 4K 30, for instance. With hopefully a 60 frames option. That's all I'm saying.
What we have right now, what I understand. Like I said before, engines become more graphically demanding. The shit. Like we may have Unreal Engine 5 in 2 years or some shit. You know what I mean? So I get that. But I just don't think, again, that Microsoft, is going to, what I'm saying is put themselves back under the gun, because, the PS5 will be here probably in 2 years or so, 2.5 years. You know what I mean?
2019, 2020, yeah.
I see about, what's this, we're in 2017 now, right?
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah, it'll be here by 2019, and 2 more years it'll be here, whatever the fuck they decide to do. So I just don't see, they got to kind of future proof. They're not going to pull a Nintendo and release a Wii U. You know what I mean? So
well, I know after the PS5 hits, Scorpio 2 will hit, so it's not a big deal.
I know.
It'll be the same scenario all over again.
Yeah, it'll be a year. It'll be a year later. Microsoft is really smart in their jumping off here, and no matter what, within a year they're going to leapfrog Sony, and Sony's gonna have to wait another fucking 3 years to leapfrog.
Okay, so where we at now? We're in 2017. We got Scorpio. I see. We may see something from showing the PlayStation 5 in 2018. It releasing in 2019. I
think 2020 is probably a better guess, or
I don't know,
or the end of 2019, maybe. No. But
I my holiday season. I just
I really don't think it'll be 2019, to be honest with you. I think it'll be
2 more years.
I think it'll be 2020. I think it'll be 2020, man.
But they just released this fucking Pro, Jesus.
It just came out. This is just 2017, 18, 19, 20. 3 years.
The Pro came out in 16.
No, it didn't.
2016 came out last year.
Okay, it came out like pretty much this year, bro.
Well, it came out last year. Came out last year.
Yeah,
so
they're not
3 years.
Okay.
But it's still a fucking PlayStation 4.
Either way, it's going to be several years, so it doesn't.
I say 2019. That's URLs. This is all Sony has going for them. Really, is the fucking PlayStation invention. And they
but the PlayStation 4 is selling like fucking bananas. I know that,
man. But are we gonna see how the Scorpio affects the fucking market? And don't forget, D, you do got the Switch out there with those fucking Kudagors. Fucking
Switch. What's everybody's opinion on the Switch?
The Switch, I don't understand these. Like, okay, I get it. I've seen a couple of walkthroughs and reviews. Zelda looks legit badass. Looks like a fucking good game. But one game does not make a fucking console, and this shit will fucking fizzle out once again, because you got Scorpio fucking coming out, which graphics are gonna fucking blow your fucking mind. You got Microsoft saying, you know what? We don't even know. Maybe we'll see if we'll get into the fucking handheld market. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the Switch is fucking weak, fucking hardware, and it's gonna show itself in the next year when it's surpassed by everything else.
It's crazy. Listen, I'm gonna say this before we get the hell out of it. Crap and them motherfuckers are arguing me down behind the scenes. Crap and fucking Tim again about the fucking Switch is gonna be the fucking second coming of Jesus Christ, Emmanuel the Baptist. And I'm telling them, wait 5 months from now.
No.
It's the same. Listen, all I'm saying is it's the same story all over again. They're releasing a hardware they can't run in the AAA fucking multi-plats.
They're fucked.
All right. Well, with that being said, we're getting the hell up out of here. Thank you guys for rocking out with Xbox Beast Fire.
Oh! Before you let go, I just want to let you guys know I put up a video on the Microsoft Pro 5 rumors that are coming out, and it's going to be launching with Ryzen. Yeah. And if you guys I have a Surface Pro 4, it's fucking awesome for content creators.
How much is Pro 4 now?
They're different price points, but I think you could probably get them for like a G now.
Oh,
like a good version of it. But they're good for content creators or business people, whatever.
And if you're launching with AMD in it, it should be a better price. That's for sure.
That's exactly. Microsoft, they overpriced their fucking.
Well, they're using Intel before.
Yeah. But and also too, by them using Ryzen, it's gonna make it cooler and you have better battery life out of it. And also if you guys out there are on the fence with the Surface Pro 4 is gonna be really cheap now because they're gonna hack the price because the new model's coming out. So
All right. Well. With that being said, we'll catch you guys later on everyone's channel. I don't know what the fuck all day's doing, but
if you guys didn't hear about,
I'm here, bro.
if you didn't hear about the brand new spring update hitting Xbox One as well, I got a video on that.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's huge.
Just did a video on that yesterday. A lot of details there.
Yeah. But the number one thing that sticks out for me the most of that is you can use your own fucking gamer pick now. So I can put my fucking ugly mug right there on the fucking screen. Beautiful.
Hey, TMI. Thank you guys for watching out with Xbox Beastfire. Hit the fucking like button. I'm gonna leave the links down below.
Hey, T Reaper, do not put any gamer pics of your butthole, bro. I swear
He gonna put a picture of his cat.
Assuming I'm able to do it, it's gonna be this gamer picture that goes on my profile.
That's what I'm talking about, Reaper. Check us out. We you guys gotta dealer too and D and all the people. You guys gotta join the Discord. We got our own little Discord.
I just downloaded it. Yeah,
I have Discord. Just send me the link.
Okay, I'm gonna leave everything down below. Come rock out with us. And thank you. And as always, we out here, bitch.